And as always, we'd like to thank One Tom Plumber for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country, and happy Friday. That's right, it is Friday, and hope everyone is excited for our winter wonderland that kicks off tomorrow. There is going to be an ice rink that is being set up in Green Valley Park, and our annual electric light parade at 6 p.m. going down Main Street. Wow, thinking about ice skating. It'll be a fun time, so I hope you can make it out tomorrow. Also, the Colton Boyle Memorial Roping at the Event Center is going on most of the day as well, so it'll be great to show your support at that event also. Well, this morning we have our Longhorn Spotlight program, and we are going to be talking to the Longhorn Theatre Company. In the studio, we have Mrs. Kathy Seiler. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much for having us on the air today.
Thank you for coming on. This is great. Love talking to the students, where we have Mariah and Hayden. Good morning.
Good morning.
And we're going to be talking about upcoming presentation or production that will be happening at the end of February and March 1st. But the program, I know, how many years have you been with the school doing theater?
I have been in our theater classroom here for this is my 38th year.
30?
Yeah.
God bless you.
I'm an older person now. Yeah, older and hopefully wiser and more experienced.
That's what we hope for,
yeah,
right?
I'm a full-time teacher, head of program. This is my 21st year.
21st year. Wow, but 38 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I think of all the young people that have come through, that you've worked with, that have done productions, that have come back and directed. Because
yes, we've had some graduates come back
Yeah.
and direct shows as a guest director. It's been exciting.
Wow, isn't it? It's so cool, because I know, having coached Little League teams, just done different things with youth in the community, and then it's awesome to see them go and do whatever they're doing, whether it's having a family, with work, whatever, and then come back and share.
Yeah, my husband called it the ripple effect, and
ripple.
it's in every industry in the world, actually. We affect people for good, and in turn they affect other people for good, and so on and so on. And hopefully there are good, positive character building skills all through those ripples.
Well, and you know what? It's just how that works. The impact that we have in people's lives. It hopefully, most of the time, and hopefully it is good, and there's times where it isn't.
Yes.
But there's still that impact that we have in people's lives, and that's what you hope for, that you can have a positive
Absolutely.
impact in people's lives. That's great. And now, Hayden, you were commenting before the program. You've been on a few times now.
Yep.
So if you want to, though, tell everyone listening, watching, maybe they didn't hear the previous programs, how long have you been a part of the theater company?
This is my 5th year in drama. I started in 6th grade, and I've just worked my way up. I'm a sophomore currently, and it's just been a club I've always enjoyed.
And that's something I know, again, before the program, you were talking that the Payson or Longhorn Theatre Company, it's open to middle school students as well. So you have, is it 6th graders, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, working with you as high school students?
Yeah.
How is that? How is it with the younger students?
It works really well. It's always great seeing new faces and bringing new people to drama. During our last show, we had, I think he's a 7th grader. He was our spotlight operator, and he did a fantastic job.
Wow. And that is great for them to be getting that experience while in middle school, so then when they come into high school, they're seasoned.
Yeah,
that's a great word.
They're experienced. They have more confidence as well. Because I think that's one of the challenges when you're going from middle school into high school. It can be intimidating. So if you can have some of that exposure in different areas, different departments, then that just makes that transition easier, and you can have more confidence.
Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that, Chris. The bridge between 8th grade and 9th grade is absolutely a huge, long, scary bridge, especially when it comes to homework. But you two girls are nodding. But also especially in the social aspect as well. And one of the programs that my high school career training education program put together, my leaders in that department, is where once a month, 2 or 3 or 4 CTE students from each of our CTE programs goes over to the middle school and presents in different classrooms all around the room. Sometimes they talk, sometimes they have a game, a lot of times they have hands-on projects. One of the favorite things is, you know, you guys should talk about that costume, fashion, runway dress up, but you called it something else.
We
What
call
was
it Dress to Impress.
Dress to Impress.
Yeah.
What did you do there?
So basically last Thursday was yesterday actually, we went over to the middle school during lunch, and basically we had these bags that include a piece of fabric, ribbon, scissors, tape, and like a trash bag. And basically we split a few kids up into each team, and they like dress a model and with a theme, and it's so fun. They have to tape the trash bags on. They have to create a whole outfit out of just kind of scraps, and it's really interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, we got the idea from a Roblox game. We just like made that.
So here's another bridge that we are
Yeah.
striving in PUSD to, you know, not only impress kids, but keep them engaged, keep them involved, keep them caring, and give them a vision of what they can do in the future, whether it's the next grade next year, or whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 grades later, where they can not only feel accepted and feel comfortable and feel confident, but to be successful. So I just need to just stick that in there.
It's great, and I know talking to people involved with different programs or with different schools, whether it's PES, JRE, middle school, high school, it seems like there's more focus put on bridging and bringing the schools, the grades, the departments together, so to make for easier transitions.
Yes, you are right, and it's part of that one team atmosphere that our leaders have created, and all of our staff in all of PUSD is committed to that one team.
You really see that. You see that talking, again, with different faculty members and administrators, students. It's really good. And I have to just quickly mention, it doesn't even just end there, but also if students are going into college, continuing college, with our Aspire, Arizona Foundation, NAVID program, there's so many opportunities for our high school students to get college experience. And we've had students on the program that said it's been amazing because, again, it boosts their confidence, they know what to expect, and it's an easier transition out of high school into college.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, and or even the workforce with our CTE
Yes.
programs, construction technologies, and so on. So it's great. Well, hey, we definitely want to talk about your upcoming production. I know there's so many great things we can talk about with the school, with the theater program, with our students that are just amazing. But what is your next production?
James and the Giant Peach.
All right, and I know you guys are excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
Last
Oh,
time
yeah.
you were in and we were talking about Radium Girls,
Yeah.
and you were really looking forward to this musical.
Oh yeah. Me and Mariah were actually the ones talking with Miss Seiler about the musical this year, and we all talked and we decided that James and the Giant Peach would be one of our best, and
Yeah.
we were so happy to have an opinion in that, in choosing which musical, because I've always loved James and the Giant Peach. It's been something that I hold close to my heart, and I'm so excited we get to do it like here in our theater company.
Wow,
Yeah.
now, this is a very popular children's book. Is it similar to the children's book? A lot different? What do you think?
I'd say it's pretty similar. It's actually based off of the book. So it's similar in that aspect. There's also a movie. I haven't seen the movie personally, but I know that it is kind of similar, but it's more closely related to the book than anything else.
Gotcha. Now, the productions that you do, when there are movies, do you like to watch the movie, or does it help, like seeing the movie? Because a lot of times the movies can be different than the production. So how does that affect kind of your performance or how you go into it?
Well, most of the time we base off say we're building our sets or we're coming up with lighting or ideas for blocking. We almost always go off of the scripts, and we use our imaginations to make our ideas come to life.
Wow.
Sometimes we'll even talk Miss Sadler. She'll go and talk with her other theater friends from other high schools down in the valley and see if they have any ideas or if they've done any productions similar, so that we can base our ideas off of other people.
And it's really interesting, just how, goodness, and it seems to be this way with all of the different classes, really everything, and the students that I talk to, how advanced. I mean, with theater production 30 years ago, it's so much, is it different now? I mean, just how much knowledge the students have or what they're doing?
It's kind of hard to know what a student knows or doesn't know when they come into the program. Of course, every program assesses them to find out what that's all about. And then it's also like the directors of a project like this always have a say in what they envision. And then we have to talk about technology. There are many excellent presentations that don't have technology or maybe just a little bit. And then, of course, there's a lot of productions that have a lot. We're lucky to have a person who's an expert at technology for our auditorium manager, David Smith. So if we said something like, well, we really want to do animated projected images for this show, he's like, okay, great, let's sit down and talk about this. We have LED lighting, as you know, and digital sound in the auditorium, thank you to a giant grant that came in years ago. We were so blessed with that. As far as for, like, let's say robotic lighting, we don't have that yet. We're talking about adding a couple of those. And then there's simple things too, like fog machines or a structure that you build that you can spin. So magic can come from simplicity or from complicated things or anything in between. What I always say to my kids all the time, it's about intent. What do you want to show the audience? What do you want them to see, understand, and feel? Then how are we going to create it? And sometimes that is a lot of complicated technology, and sometimes it's not. We're going to be talking a lot about how do we make that peach grow.
That's our problem.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure you'll come up with a solution.
Yeah, we have a bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
From using like projectors to using lighting to using umbrellas even.
Yeah.
Or even just like people like in orange. Just, like,
Yeah, we've got some fun ones.
Wow.
And even churches now today have a lot of electronic things too, because prices are coming down. It's a lot easier to get those things, and there's a lot more of it out there. So a lot of my kids even actually volunteer or get work at churches or hotels, things like that, that have these things.
Wow. So James and the Giant Peach is taking place Thursday. It starts Thursday, February 27th, 7 p.m. Then Friday, the next day, February 28th at 4 p.m. And Saturday, March 1st at 7 p.m. And the production is in the PHS Auditorium. I believe tickets go on sale February 1st, and they'll be $8 and $6 online, then $10 and $8 at the door. So, auditions. You're going to be heading to auditions today, right after this, right?
Yeah, this is the second set of auditions for James and the Giant Peach. We thought that Friday would work because we'd have a lot of time to prepare ourselves and then come and talk about it in the morning, just go straight there, feeling more confident since we basically unraveled the whole show.
Yeah.
There you go. And I know we talk about just all the work that goes into these productions. You have all of the actors and memorizing all your lines, your parts. It's not just the words, but the performance as well, and the actions, and just all of it. And all the practices. You were saying, Hayden, it's almost every day, right?
Oh yeah, every day after school. For Radium Girls, definitely, we were going every day.
Wow.
Each rehearsal is definitely focused on a different thing. Sometimes it'll be memorizing, sometimes it's blocking, but in the end, you have to know where your foot's going to be going and where your hand has to end up and what line you're saying next. Because if you don't, the show doesn't always fail, but it doesn't go as planned.
Yeah, it doesn't flow.
Yeah, it sometimes doesn't flow, but improv is always a part of the show.
Yeah, and for like our musicals, we have rehearsals Monday through Thursday right after school until like 6. And then we have rehearsals Friday morning and then Friday afternoon sometimes. We'll do dance in the morning and then sometimes we'll do vocals in the afternoon.
When you were describing that, I was thinking of like a dance. It almost is like this production where if the flow, where if something is off, you're not in the right position, or it isn't, then it doesn't necessarily have to be a line, but just something isn't moved in time, or done, then it can interrupt that flow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Yes.
reminds me of something that happened during our last show. Tech is a very, very big part of all of her productions,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes they get a little distracted. And during our last show, they didn't turn the lights off at the end of my scene.
Uh-huh.
So me and my partner were just like sitting there awkwardly because we just got
Yeah,
into
that was
like
our scene together. It was so funny.
me and my partner, she was my mom.
Uh-huh.
We got into this fight, and then I was like, we were just like talking, and then after this fight, the lights needed to fade so that they had that tension.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, the lights did not turn off, and the audience just like broke out into laughter.
Yeah.
It was kind of
It's like-
embarrassing, but it was still fun.
Yeah, and so when something like that happens, because things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen. So in your mind, what do you do to like regain focus, or just like put it out of your mind, or?
Well, for me, in that scene in particular, since we were in the fight, I just stormed off.
Oh, okay.
I
Nice.
said a couple words, I kind of don't remember them, but I said a couple words that related to the scene, and I stormed off. Then the lights finally went out.
Gotcha.
But
It's a little improvising there.
Yeah.
improv is a big part of every single production.
Yeah, because those that are watching,
Mhm.
they don't know
Yeah.
exactly maybe what should be done or should happen in that situation. So if you do a little improvising confidently, hey,
That's-
there we go.
That's our thing.
Don't we do that all day, every day?
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, really?
I know, all the world's a stage, right?
Our community is also like super supportive in everything that like the schools do. So
And our
Yeah.
saying is like, the audience doesn't know the script. They're not going to know if we change a line. So we can say, as long as it relates to the scene or the show, we should be okay.
Mm.
If needed.
If
Yeah.
needed, we don't want to just change stuff for
I
fun.
always want to put that
Yeah.
out there because one of the things I do in my department is teach copyright. And I know in
Yeah.
your world, in the music world, it's important too. And we need to protect
Yeah.
the work, the artistic work of our writers and authors
Yeah.
and musicians and scriptwriters and things like that. So yeah, it's there if we need it.
Mhm.
But other than that, we perform the work as given and we follow our contract.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
with our bigger productions, most of the time we have to like get in contact with like the producer of the original production, see if we can change something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that does take a little bit of time.
Wow. So again, the next production for the Longhorn Theatre Company is James and the Giant Peach, and the performances will be Thursday, February 27th, the 28th, and March 1st, and that's at the PHS Auditorium. And I was given tickets, so I have tickets here. If anyone watching, listening, we're going to be giving these away later.
We have some
And-
guest, we have a guest
Oh.
director this year, actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm not directing this production for the stage.
Mhm. And who is that?
Miss Julie Smith, she's our stage director. And we also have a vocal director, Miss Emma Ruth Seiler.
Mm-hmm.
She's,
And then
oh,
we have our choreographer,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Katie Beeson from Vibe Dance Academy.
Wow. And it's great. So it seems like there's a lot of support from different community members.
Yes, there is. Emotionally, I think almost everybody really enjoys making sure or helping to or prompting kids to get involved in something.
Mhm.
And this is a fantastic thing because there's a lot of kids out there who are not sports kids
Mhm.
or brainiacs who love math or chess, but they want to be creative. And theater is fantastic, as you know. We all know that it's everything from the technical work to the artistic stuff to the presentation stuff to
Mhm.
kids who want to hide in the back and just paint props. I'm so lucky that I get to teach all of that. Theater is a home for everybody. We'd like to see more people come to the show as an audience member. That's what we really, really need. We need people to
Mhm.
buy tickets. And people can even buy tickets and not attend. That's a great way to support us.
Mhm.
Or buy tickets and share them with a neighbor or a friend, or
Mhm.
give them to their pastor as a perk or a thank you, or to their boss, or even to grandma in New York, or something like that. So when the time comes, we'll be
Yeah.
asking you to help us out, Chris, in announcing that, hey, everybody, buy a ticket.
Get a ticket. Get a ticket. And there are some organizations and businesses that are listed on the tickets that provide ongoing support.
Yes.
Muggy Young Sporting Association, Pizza Factory.
Ooh.
And
Oh.
Jake he was the director for The Last Addict, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
a year,
Oh.
year and some months ago,
Yeah.
we invited him to, even though he was not a student way back when who was in that show, we started our 4-year Addict productions after he had gotten out of high school,
Mhm.
but he had heard about it, and many of his employees, I understand,
Oh,
are
yeah,
in my
that's me.
program.
Yeah.
And I just felt that he was just the right person to lead such a product,
Yeah.
and he had a blast. He loved it, and he was a really good director. He had really good insight, and he worked with our law enforcement so well to learn about the content of that show. I was so proud of him.
Wow, that's great. And then Plant Fair Nursery,
Yes.
Miller Auto Works, Payson Premier Dental, and
Yep.
Iron Horse Signs.
Yeah, we thank those sponsors so very much. We could not be as successful without them.
Wow, that is great. And it's an incredible community that supports our youth and the different programs. Like you said, there's so many great programs, not just the sports programs, but the CTE programs at the high school are, I feel, amazing.
I personally feel a town our size and a school our size, we have an incredible number of programs that our kids can get involved in. And the 6 CTE programs and the many, many, many sports programs and the after-school clubs. Aren't you girls involved in the veterans?
Or the Imprints of Honor?
It's
Yes.
called
Imprints
Imprints
of
of
Honor.
Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many of my, and you're also in FFA too.
I am.
Yeah,
in FFA.
yeah,
So many of my kids double up, triple up, quadruple up. There is no excuse for any kid in this town to say there's nothing to do.
Oh, yeah.
True, we don't have laser tag, but an
Yes.
ice skating rink is coming.
Yeah, outdoor, look at that, the outdoor rink. But you're right, and that's, I know, Imprints of Honor, is what it's called. Mrs. Page
Yes,
Yes.
Mrs. Page.
that does that, and that is just a amazing program. Yeah, it is great to see all the opportunities.
It
There are
is.
so many opportunities for our young people to be involved in these different programs that give them great experience. Whether it's experience that they can use, like a skill they can use going off into the workforce, or even just life experience. Like with the Imprints of Honor, interviewing veterans and just being a part of a process, putting a book together that's in the, the Library of Congress?
Yes,
Yeah.
Library of Congress.
That's amazing.
It is
that
amazing.
There's an opportunity to do that. And then recently, the astronomy program.
Oh, yeah, we did
That
astronomy, yeah.
astronomy program where our students can be part of a paper, a published paper that they can put on a college application, a resume.
Yeah,
That's
our
incredible.
clubs always reach out to each other. Like this past Wednesday and Thursday during school,
Yeah,
DECA, which is our marketing club,
yeah.
they put on a marketing day, and they reached out to all the different clubs and asked them if they wanted to like sell a booth or like sell stuff at a booth. And then we actually decided to do a booth and practice our marketing skills, and then see if we can sell stuff and see what people actually like.
What did you sell?
We sold bracelets, a bunch of handmade bracelets. We made 44. We sold, I think, 27.
Yeah, we sold a good amount.
Oh, wow.
Those are
That's cool. And it's great to see all the different clubs and organizations working together.
Oh,
with
definitely.
Yes,
programs.
that's important too. These relationship skills are also important. The professional meet and greet,
Mhm.
dress to impress, or dressing appropriately for where
Mhm.
you're going. Also, speaking. A lot of kids have expert fingers right now, right?
Mhm.
So we really need to beef up the speaking skills and the meet and greet skills, and that's what we're all trying to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that is really good. So again, encourage people to buy tickets. Buy tickets. They will go on sale February 1st. Not on sale yet, but and we'll be announcing that, getting that out
Thank you.
on our Facebook page and on the radio, letting people know how you can buy tickets. What other musicals have both of you been involved with?
Ooh.
Oh, we've been involved.
Yeah, we've been in a couple.
So, I've always been like the supporting lead characters in
Okay.
all of my like musicals, and I've been super happy with those. Like during Little Shop of Horrors, I was a Ronette, so I got to lead the story. I was basically a narrator, and I got to sing and dance with 2 other people. And then this last one, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, me and my partner Dick Skehan, we were both spies. and we basically moved the story along by, well, there's sometimes we'll be like in a helicopter, or we'll be behind bushes, just like
Stealing
sneaking up,
Grandpa.
trying to steal the car. And Jake Skihan is actually, most of the time he does our lights.
Okay.
So he basically, like last year, decided that he wants to venture into the world of acting.
All right. And how about you?
For me, Little Shop of Horrors, I actually auditioned and I got ensemble, but I didn't actually end up being in acting. I ended up being up in the tech booth for that
Okay.
show. I helped out with lights, and it was really cool. I loved the experience. And then for this past show, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I played every part of Under the Sun, I swear. In rehearsals, I filled in for as much as I could, but the actual shows, I was a lot of parts. I was on every few scenes, and I was trying my hardest.
So Hayden, I'm glad you mentioned ensemble. Every single part's important, so why is there no quote-unquote lead parts or big parts and no small parts? How does that work?
Because ensemble sometimes is on stage more than the leads, because just because they maybe don't say as much as the leads, they are still there for the story. Without ensemble, we don't have a show. And for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang especially, we had Vibe Dance Academy come in, and they were our dancers, and without them we couldn't have had as nearly good as a show as we did.
We had a couple of them fill in for some of the parts from our company that dropped, and it turned out really well. And especially with ensemble, our last show, Radium Girls, our ensemble is playing multiple parts.
Oh yeah.
Some people played 5, some people played 3, some people played like 7.
Wow.
And it just worked really well.
So there's a lot happening behind the scenes, behind the curtain then, if you have somebody that's doing 5 different roles
Yeah.
or parts.
You know, constant costume changing, but also the way I direct, I really want each kid to find something unique for that character. Maybe it's the way they stand, maybe it's the way they breathe, maybe it's the way they talk, maybe it's the way they glance their eyes around at other characters, just so not only our audience can see that there's a different person, a different character that's coming on stage, but so that my students, my actors, my performers can really feel the differences between personalities and character types and things like that. That's going to serve them well throughout their whole life, is determining what is this character like, what does my boss expect from me in this job, what is this colleague like, how can I get along with them, things like that.
Now, in the upcoming production, James and the Giant Peach, a lot of the characters are not people.
They are not. A few of them. Well, one of them is actually not a person. It's our narrator. He or she, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But they are basically like a spirit. It's so weird. But then we also have bugs, insects.
Which are part of some of our leads.
Yep,
Yeah.
5 bugs, which are 5 of the leads, and then Lotta Lord, the narrator, the spirit, is basically a lead as well. And then
We have 2 ants, Ant Spiker and Ant Sponge. And then we have our main, James.
obviously.
And then for our ensemble, I think we have
there's so many.
seagulls.
Yeah, we're still deciding on seagulls. We have townspeople. We have
Townspeople.
a
We have a
shark.
rhino,
We have the
sharks.
rhino. We have
Wow.
we have so many parts on this show.
Wow, that'll be very interesting to
Yeah.
see all of that come together
Mhm.
and how that's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, well, hey, good luck with the auditions
Oh, thank
you.
today, and it's 10:30, so thank you so much.
Thank you
for-
so much for having us
Thank
here.
you.
We really enjoy sharing our vision here.
Oh, yeah, no, it is great, yeah, love having you guys on, and to talk about the Longhorn Theatre Company, and again, please get out and support this program. Tickets will be going on sale February 1st. So you can get out and get your tickets, and they'll be for sale online or at the door.
Yep,
Yep, so there we go. So thank you guys.
Of course.
thank you.
And
Yeah.
thank you everyone for listening and watching this morning. Also, again, thank you to One Tom Plumber for sponsoring our Longhorn Spotlight program. Time to get back to the music here on KRIM. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service. All right, there we go.